I remember when I was growing up, I was never in no car seat. It's not, I don't even know what a car seat was. Only the closest I came to being in a car seat is somebody reaching their hand out. Somebody reaching their hand out when we had to stop all of a sudden and all the kids flew up to the front seat. And that's why they started the laws to help us, because some of us hit our heads and stuff, and we've been undiagnosed ever since.
The content presented in this video is intended for commentary, analysis, and educational purposes, and is protected under the principles of fair use as defined by US copyright law. G'day, mate. Welcome back to Kangaroo Court Law, where we dive into the corridors of virtual justice to bring you the most thought-provoking cases and riveting moments from the world of Zoom Court. Today, we are shining a spotlight on a particularly powerful case that's tugging at the heartstrings of none other than the Honorable Judge Bryant. In today's clip, we witness a defendant who's taken reckless driving to a whole new level, with a child's safety hanging in the balance. Now, if there's one thing Judge Bryant is fiercely passionate about, it's ensuring that no child's life is put at risk due to someone else's negligence. So Judge Bryant must send a powerful message that safety and responsibility should always come first, especially when young lives are at stake. Join us as we delve into this riveting legal showdown, where Judge Bryant's compassion meets her commitment to the rule of law. Her relentless pursuit of justice sends a clear message that children's safety is paramount, and she's not one to back down when their well-being is on the line.
They set for a final pretrial conference. Mr. Murad?
Judge, I've gone over Mr. Evans' constitutional rights with him. There has been an offer in this matter. I'm just going to make a record. Our deviation request was denied. We will be taking a plea today to one count of child abuse in the 4th degree, with the understanding that the reckless driving count 3 would be dismissed.
You said count 3. What?
I'm sorry, Judge. I said that because the first count was originally a felony, which was dismissed at the exam. So
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Ms. Ritter?
That is correct, Judge. That's a people's offer at this time.
Mr. Evans, your lawyer has indicated that you wish to accept the people's offer. Sir, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Evans, I'm going to share my screen. On my screen, you're going to see an advice of rights form. And my question to you, Mr. Evans, is have you had an opportunity to review for yourself or to go over with your lawyer your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
With that understanding, Mr. Evans, do you still want to enter into this plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the court is also satisfied. I will accept a guilty plea to one count of child abuse, 4th degree, and in exchange, I will dismiss reckless driving. Having accepted the plea, is there any objection to immediate sentencing?
We would ask for immediate sentencing, Judge.
Ms. Ritter?
No objection from the people, Your Honor.
With respect to sentencing, anything on behalf of the people?
Judge, just with respect to sentencing, I asked the court just to take the nature of the charge into consideration. From the people's understanding, there was a young child involved in this case. Mr. Evans was driving pretty fast with the child in the vehicle unstrapped at the time, Judge. So I'm asking the court to take that into consideration. And I do understand from conversations with Mr. Murad that Mr. Evans is on a parole hold. The people are not sure how long Mr. Evans has been incarcerated, but I will ask the court to take that into consideration as well when deciding sentencing in this case, Judge.
Mr. Murad?
Judge, I have a ton that I'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Evans. When I first started this case, Judge, Mr. Evans he had a really good attorney, but that attorney was withdrawing. There was some sort of breakdown. And then in talking to him, I just felt that he wasn't really given the benefit of the doubt. I had an opportunity to talk to him in a breakout room, Judge. I clicked with him. Actually, that later on that day, I went down and visited him in the jail. We talked for about an hour and a half. just about life, about choices, about, different things that put him in the situation he's in, Judge. And, when I wrote this deviation request to Mr. Bresnahan, I'm going to highlight some of the things that I discussed. Mr. Evans didn't have the best life, Judge. When he was around 11 years old, his mother moved to Florida while he was here in the city of Detroit. He had a 15-year-old friend around who he would squat with in abandoned homes. Eventually, his mother comes back, marries his stepfather, but leaves back to Florida, leaving him, Mr. Evans, with his stepfather, who was pretty absent from his responsibilities over Mr. Evans, who was a minor at this time, kind of forcing Mr. Evans to provide for himself. Some of the different things Mr. Evans did to provide for himself, Judge, was working at Checkers in the old Fountain Bistro downtown. Judge, when he was 17 years old, he catches his first case. It was a vehicle offense case. And he was sentenced to prison and has been in and out of the system since. He gets out. Now, his behavior in this underlying case, Judge, it's not acceptable. It's not okay. To drive that way without having, your daughter strapped in a car seat is one thing. But, what I see is an individual who, despite all these encounters with law enforcement, is still timid, is still scared, doesn't want to go to jail, doesn't want to get arrested, and he made a poor decision. And what's terrible, Your Honor, is this decision could cost him even more of his freedom. I mean, he's been incarcerated since March of 2018 on this, and it's just been tough. This case, was hesitant for us. I wanted a better resolution, but this is the only one at this time that we can get. He has an aunt here in the community, Miss Tamika Smith. Even though she's not his biological son, I've been talking to her very regularly. She's kind of taken Mr. Evans under his wing. He's earned a ton of certifications, Judge. While he does have a job that'll be waiting for him on the outside, a family that wants him to be around. I'm asking the court for a time-served sentence in this matter. And despite the parole agent not answering or returning any of my calls or messages, I'm hoping that she may not violate him or give him a minimal violation here, because I think this young man has a lot of potential. I like him a lot. I think he's a great guy. He's been dealt an unfortunate set of circumstances and hasn't really been able to parlay them to his best ability. But I'm hopeful, Judge, that with these life lessons he's learning, that when he's reintroduced to society, he's going to be a rock star. I believe in him, and I think maybe one of these days we'll see Mr. Xavier Evans doing some really big things out here. But between now and then, Judge, I'm just asking for a favorable sentence of time served. We are expecting a violation here. I think you're muted, Your Honor.
Would Mr. Evans like to make a statement on his own behalf?
Yes, ma'am. Regardless of my past or present, honestly, I love my daughters very much. The situation was a situation that, I can't say that I don't know right from against. I know what's supposed to happen and what's not supposed to happen. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm grown, and I know it's a law out there and I have to abide by it. And whatever you have to do, you have to do it. And whatever I have to take as a punishment, I have to take it. I very much appreciate it. And let you know that I'm responsible enough to take whatever you give me.
Mr. Mariah, you said he's been in custody on this since 2018. Did you mean to say 2018?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. March 18, 2023.
Oh, because I was going to say, now that's something wrong. Okay, so he's been since March 18th. All right.
I'm sorry, Judge. Yeah, the date of offense, yes, was March 18th.
2023?
Yes.
No, what I'm trying to say is, how long has he been in custody?
I believe since then, Judge.
Okay. Good morning. If you could confirm for me, Mr. Evans's book-in date to the Wayne County Jail. Did you hear me? Did you hear me, Deputy?
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking right now.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And then while he's looking, Ms. Ritter, he pled to child abuse 4th degree. That's still a 93-day, right?
1 year, Your Honor.
Oh, it's a 1 year? The fourth,
Yeah.
the fourth, oh,
Yes, ma'am. It looks like March, either 18th or 20th. I'll have to go out to my computer to confirm that, but
that's good enough for me.
okay.
So much. Okay, thank you. So he's been in custody at least 5 months. A little over 5 months. And yeah, you know, me and the parole board, we don't agree, or the parole, whoever's in charge of the parole, we don't agree about how they handle the cases in terms of, you know, taking the person in custody at the point that they get charged with a crime. I just disagree. Nonetheless, that's not my lane. It's not, I don't have any control over that. Mr. Evans, you sound like a person who has made some bad choices in your life. And then the thing about being on parole, is that you do absolutely have to, you know, walk straight and narrow in terms of them not picking you up and trying to violate you. I don't know how much time you would have on your underlying charge, but I'm hopeful for your sake and for the sake of your children that you are not sentenced in terms of the underlying felony to serve the remainder of that time. I don't know how much time that would be. You did make a poor choice. It is very dangerous. If you had gotten into an accident, now let me, I'm getting ready to say something that's probably not popular. I remember when I was growing up, I was never in no car seat. It's not, I don't even know what a car seat was. Only the closest I came to being in a car seat is somebody reaching their hand out. Somebody reaching their hand out when we had to stop all of a sudden and all the kids flew up to the front seat. And that's why they started the laws to help us, because some of us hit our heads and stuff, and we've been undiagnosed ever since. Some of us hit our heads and stuff, and we done flew up and hit the back of the driver's seat and stuff when the parents stopped all of a sudden, and there was nobody back there to reach out their hand and stop you from hitting your thing, because the person who was reaching out their hand was in the front seat and like that. Okay. So that's why, you know, these things came about, for the safety of the children. And if you had, they said you were driving real fast. They didn't tell me how fast, but if you had an accident, then your child could have just been catapulted, ejected out of the car. They could have gone through the windshield. They could have gone, anything could happen. And that's why it's so critically important. The laws in that area changed so much because children, we started dying and stuff. Like our family was doing stuff and then we getting thrown out the windows and stuff. And there's no coming back from that. Unfortunately, you know, unfortunately, you also happen to be on parole. And so it has a greater impact on that decision. But I am inclined to impose the following sentence. This is a 1-year misdemeanor. I thought you had almost served, I thought it might have just been a 93-day, but it is a 1-year misdemeanor. I am going to impose the following sentence with respect to Mr. Evans. I am going to sentence Mr. Evans to 4 months and close the case out. That's how I should say that. Mr. Evans, hopefully the parole agent will be satisfied with court sentence and they will not further violate you. on the parole hearing. But if you got somebody speaking up like for you, like Mr. Murat, you might do okay. Maybe we need to type this transcript up and send it to the parole hearing.
Can I do that, Judge?
Of course you can. Of course, you can always order the transcript, Mr. Murat. When is his parole hearing?
That I don't know, but am I able to, I guess, advocate on his behalf with the parole board?
That I don't know. However, whoever, that I don't know. You have to talk about it offline. I guess I have nothing to do with the parole board. It would be a felony issue. And so while you all are the misdemeanor and felony defenders, I don't know that you can. But Mr. Evans, yes, Mr. Evans, do you have a lawyer on your felony case?
My felony case?
For the parole case.
No.
So Mr. Murat, we'll have to, we can look into it and see if he's going to be represented at the parole hearing. And then at the very least, the transcript can be ordered. It's not should be.
I waive my parole hearing.
That's why he needs legal counsel.
Yeah, she told me when she first came to see me to waive.
Who?
My parole agent.
Yeah. Okay, let me stop. Mr. Rod. Okay, what you need to find out is if he can unwaive it. Okay, I can't get into that. That's outside of me. Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Evans, I am closing this case out. Mr. Murat, you can find out a little bit more information about that and then see if the transcript will even be of any use. And then we can go from there. Good luck to you, Mr. Evans, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Murat.
All right. Have a great day. Stay safe. Keep your head up. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All comments, viewpoints, interpretations, and insights expressed in this video are for education and entertainment purposes. All individuals featured in the video are to be presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Please do not attempt to contact, locate, or engage with any individuals featured in the video.